Yo, what up, everybody? You're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. It's mailbag time here on the channel. One of my favorite videos of the week. I just get to answer questions from all of the real ones out there. If we didn't get to your question today, it's your own fault because we only answer questions from subscribers. So turn your notifications on and subscribe, and maybe you can get on the next show. My guy, Carl, longtime supporter of Knicks Now by Chat Sports. That's the OG right there. Some people will call him old head, but I'm not going to be disrespectful. It says, can we accept the final year on Bogey's contract and trade him now? To my knowledge, yes, Carl. To my knowledge, yes. You can also just trade him, and then the other team picks up that option. I believe the Knicks have to make a decision on that the day after the NBA draft. But, yeah, there's ways that they could do it. They could pick it up, then trade it. They could trade it, have the other team pick it up. So, yeah, there's multiple ways the Knicks could go about trading Bojan Bogdanovic. Khan, what's up, man? Do you think we should go after Andre Drummond? It just matters what the price of admission is. If you're able to get Andre Drummond for a cheap salary, then yeah, I would definitely make that trade. He's one of the best rebounders in this league. That's the DNA of the New York Knicks, dominating the glass. And if you're going to trade Mitchell Robinson, you're going to need a backup center if you are bringing back Isaiah Hartenstein, or if Hartenstein leaves and you start Robinson, you're going to need a backup center. I would enjoy Drummond being on this team, bring some physicality and some brute force. As we know, a terrible free throw shooter doesn't give you much on offense, but someone that can control the glass. If the price is right, I'd be in on Drummond. No doubt about it. Will McConaughey, what's up, family? Says, here is my list I would trade Randle for. Giannis, LeBron, KD, or even AD. I would love Booker, Mikal, but I don't love OG at the 4. So you would trade Randle for Giannis. I think everybody would. Trade Randle for LeBron. I don't know about that. KD. Yeah, I would. I would trade. I would trade Randle for KD. Anthony Davis. That's a tough one for me. AD's 31. Randle's 29. Do we see Anthony Davis as a guy that's playing well into his 30s? Or do we see Anthony Davis as a guy that may hang it up at 34 years old? And the injuries with Davis. Says, I would love Booker, Mikal, but I don't love OG at the 4. I don't love OG at the 4 either. But if you can get Booker or Mikal Bridges, yeah, you do that deal. I would do everything I can this summer to trade for Mikal Bridges and keep Julius Randle. How many picks it costs? You could take Mitch, you could take Bogey, you could take Deuce. Get it done. That's my number one move I want to see the Knicks make. Isaac Smith, what's up, man? Your top tradable asset is Randle and picks. You can make several moves where you address two needs areas. If you're going to trade Randle, you got to get somebody better than him. You can't trade Randle for somebody that's worse than Julius Randle. And there's only so many players that are better than him. And there's only so many players that are better than him that are actually available. I'll ask you guys, who would you trade Julius Randle for? Who would you trade Julius Randle for? Let me know in the comment section. Michael Vasquez, what up, man? He says, what can we get for Bogey? Really, it'd have to be Bogey and picks, Vasquez, because I don't think that any team is going to give you anything of substance for Bogey, older player coming off 2 surgeries, final year of his deal at $20 million. The thing that makes Bogey most attractive at this point is that expiring $20 million. So you're giving a team pretty much an out on a contract that they are no longer interested in, right, after one season. Can you go Bogey and picks for Bogey and a lot of picks for Brandon Ingram? Is that a little bit too overzealous? Could you go, man, like Bogey and Mitch? Or Bogey and Deuce and picks for Bridges. Something like that. I don't know. You're going to have to add a lot of picks if Bogey's the main piece in the trade, if you want to get something of value. Johnson, what's up, man? Appreciate the $2 super chat. Resign Burks or let him walk. If I can bring back Alec Burks on the veteran minimum, I am in. If it's going to cost me north of $4 million per year, probably out on Alec Burks. Got love for him. was so cool to see him ball out in Game 7, but I'm just not so sure that where he's at and where the Knicks are at and where the pockets are at, it makes a whole lot of sense. And he just re-signed, and he's with Clutch Sports now, so I don't know. John Pettit, what's up, man? He says, saying there is no big star available who realistically saying there is no big star available who realistically can we get, and what position is most important to improve and get this team over the hump? What position is most important? For me, there's two. A backup guard that can run the show when Brunson's out of the game, or another wing that can score and defend. Another wing that can score and defend, so Josh Hart doesn't have to be your second best defender at 6'4", guarding Pascal Siakam when OG Anunoby gets hurt. Or a backup guard that can play when Brunson's out and can play when Dante is out and can run your offense when Brunson is sitting down. So a shot-creating floor general guard off the bench, or another starting wing that can push Josh Hart back to the bench and he go back to being that energy and effort role, and you want that guy to score. It's Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges is the perfect trade this offseason. I really do believe so. Who do you want the Knicks to trade for? We've talked about a lot of players. And we're going to continue to talk about players the Knicks can trade for. We're going to be here all offseason long. I want to hear a name from you, though. Who do you want the Knicks to trade for? Is it Bridges? Is it LeBron? Is it KD? Is it Booker? Is it DeRozan? Is it Cat? There's a lot of good players out there, but you got to pay to play. Got to pay to play. You're never, ever going to underpay for a player, especially if you're the New York Knicks. Froze, what's up, family? Says, what do you think about the identity of this team? What do you love and what needs to be changed? What do you think of the identity? All grit, all grind, all the time. That's the identity. We're going to beat you up on the glass. We're going to play defense. And we're going to play a higher IQ, higher brand of basketball, IQ-wise, in the later stages of the game. What I love about this team, everything I just said. I think they play the game the right way. I think they have a togetherness about them. I think that the players that they have on this roster complement each other. It kind of gives you that college vibes of these guys are willing to do whatever they have to do to win a game and for the brother next to them. What needs to change? I think more talent. I just think more talent. Usually the most talented team in the NBA wins the championship. Knicks need to add a little bit more talent. Get to more questions in a second. First, I got to give a huge shout out to our proud sponsor, Prize Picks. It's prizepicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS. Prize Picks is daily fantasy sports made easy, where you create a lineup of 2 to 6 players and you simply choose more or less on their projected stat line. You can win big money and you can withdraw your winnings whenever. With the NBA Finals here, now is the time to get hooked up with Prize Picks. Use the promo code CLNS and they will match your deposit up to $100. You want to put $10 in your account with promo code CLNS, they'll match it with $10. You want to put $50 in, they'll do it with that as well. Get ready for the rest of the NBA Finals with Prize Picks, and also get ready for the NFL season. It'll be here before you know it. I'm rolling with this as a 2-player lineup that I've got locked in for the NFL season already. It is the Moore on Brian Burns' sack and the Moore on Justin Jefferson receiving touchdowns. You can roll with my picks or fade my picks. Just do it at Prize Picks. It's prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use that promo code CLNS. And Prize Picks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app in the game. Match your first deposit up to $100. If you think you know ball and you want to turn it into some money, number one place to do it is Prize Picks. So shout out to everybody that supports the show. We kindly ask you to support the sponsor as well. Because we love and care about you, I'll make sure that link is clickable in the comments and description of today's show. The Hibby, my man. Who is the top free agent that we could potentially grab? So you're looking at guys that if you are a non-tax-paying team, you're looking at guys on the mid-level exception. And that means you're going to be looking at guys, the C-level, B-level free agent targets. Some guys I'm looking at. I actually did a whole video about this. You can go check it out, affordable free agent targets. I'm looking at a guy like Najee Marshall. Could make some sense. I'm looking at a guy like, I know he's tore his ACL, Sadiq Bey. I'm looking at a guy like, could you get Kelly Oubre on the veteran minimum? What about a guy like Reggie Jackson? I know people didn't like it when I said Tobias Harris, but if you can get Tobias Harris to come off the bench for you, I think it could make some sense. Those are some guys I'm looking for. Knicks aren't going to be big players in free agency. They don't have the cap space, and they'll have to use the mid-level exception, only if they're a non-tax-paying team, and it seems like they are about to go there. Will McConaughey. I said, I think there is a Bulls trade that could make sense. What would you think DeMar and Caruso would cost? Bogey, Deuce, and picks. Thoughts? They're going to want Mitchell Robinson, Will. I think if you're trading with the Bulls, they're going to want Mitchell Robinson. Maybe Robinson, Bogey, Deuce, and picks. I'd be in on that. Robinson, Deuce, Bogey, picks for DeMar and Caruso. I'm not sure if the money checks out on that, but like just from a Knicks perspective, yeah, I think that makes some sense. I'm not signing Hayward Highsmith for the mid-level exception. I'm not. I would sign Caleb Martin for it, but not Hayward Highsmith. Johnson, you. Would Dolan even go over the second apron? Absolutely. He absolutely would. Jim Dolan is, he's going to pay whatever it takes to get a contender out there. He is, no doubt about it. He'll spend the bread. He's not going to be cheap when it comes to that. So yeah, he would definitely do that. All right. Yeah, I don't have any idea. I don't have any doubt that Dolan, James, did I say Jim earlier? I meant James. That he would pay whatever it takes to get a winner out there. He'll pay the bill. The Sphere is making him a lot of money. So are the Knicks. What do you think the Knicks should do, though, with their draft picks? They own pick 24, and we'll end it here. They own pick 24, and they own pick 25. What should the Knicks do? Should they trade their picks for a star? Should they make their picks? Or should they trade up in the 2024 NBA draft? Let me know what you think in the comment section. As always, appreciate you guys tuning in. If you haven't yet subscribed, hit that like button, and let's go Knicks.